It should not be a shock to anybody in this room, I hope, that every one of your passwords are at risk and that a few of them are out in the wild. And I would be happy to share them back to you if you like. Primary attack vector remains email. All right, so those of us who do IT recognize that we can probably make relatively safe computer systems. But there's a problem. And you're sitting in front of me. I have to allow users to use the computers. And I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. I'm just simply saying I make mistakes probably in the first 15 minutes of being out of bed. I asked my wife. She believes that to be the case unquestionably. Okay, and my kids. So if I make mistakes like this, so will you. And so will you as you go through your workday. All right, so you make the accidental click. Somebody is phishing and going after you so that you make a mistake and click on an email that you think is from Bank of America or from Wells Fargo. We've seen these things, right? But they're getting smarter. Sometimes they get the grammar correct now. Sometimes they even get the logos correct. All right? And I know it's worrisome because I get phone calls from clients who say, oh my God, they wrote me a letter. They say if I don't send them this money over Bitcoin, they're going to expose the things we've been doing online. And they have one of my passwords. It should not be a shock to anybody in this room, I hope, that every one of your passwords are at risk and that a few of them are out in the wild. And I would be happy to share them back to you if you like. Just come, we'll take some personal time, and I'll go find a couple of your passwords posted online in one database or another. Okay? Washington Post ran a great article pointing out a tool called I've Been Pawned. It's in the back of this presentation as well, where you can go and look and see how many times your logon credentials by email have been violated. All right, and if you weren't caught in LinkedIn, then you were probably caught in Adobe. If you weren't caught in Adobe, then you were caught in Experian. If you weren't caught in that, it goes on and on and on. And there's going to be companies you're like, I don't even know who that is. How did they even have my information to begin with? All right, so all you have to do is make a small mistake and click on the wrong thing. Now, here's the thing. Your computer should stop that from happening. But how many people in this room can install any piece of software on their computer if they choose to do so? All right. How many people in this room can't because their corporate policy stops their user from having that permission? You're already in a better shape. Those of us who can just click and act, we're in trouble because one mistake and I don't have a backup path anymore. At least, in this case, Karen, when she clicks, the computer is going to say, I need administrative privilege to run this operation. That's a warning. So if all of you aren't running in a non-privileged mode, generally speaking, then you want to change that. It's one of those basic tenets of security.